you have almost 16,000 addresses holding at least 100 Bitcoins. 16,000 sounds a lot, but again, if it's really 16,000 people, which it's not, it's probably more like 5,000 people. But if you think about it, if it's really just 16,000 people, that's so little. So little, especially if you consider the global population at 8+ billion, right? So even though there are whales out there, but still, it's not easy to accumulate massive amount of Bitcoin, right? Just even to accumulate one is hard for many people. And think about accumulating 10, which is virtually impossible for most people. And then think about getting 100, right? But you know what? When things are low, when things are cheap, right? When things are down, that's when you could buy low, right? You buy things on a discount. And we're in one of those situations right now, right? So, but basically, people are still stocking up. The number of addresses keep doing this, right? Not just with ultra whales, but with anything that's 0.1, 1, 10. They're all going up. So there are definitely a lot of people taking advantage right now. The good thing is the network is still strong and getting stronger. So we're going to see a huge difficulty spike, the most we have seen since January. And that's because things are heating up again among the miners. They are stocking up, loading up on ASIC machines, and they are not giving up. So the network is still strong, part of the growing fundamentals, right? A lot of people measure Bitcoin's worth based on the network, based on network strength, activity, users, hash rate, stuff like that, right? So these are great things to measure Bitcoin with, right? So mining is still strong. This is one, the Puel multiple. This actually kind of looks at, the miners, their profitability, how much coins are being issued and stuff like that. But basically, bottom line is this. Bitcoin is coming off of its green, and that usually means that Bitcoin is flipping above from a bottom point, right? So you can see on the right-hand side, that's exactly what we're doing right now. So these are positive things. And you can see we're almost near all-time high for mining difficulty once again. So that just shows the strength of Bitcoin. And just note that some of these previous times when Bitcoin had a huge spike up in mining difficulty, what did that mean? That actually marked a reversal. That means that we found bottom and we're continuing upwards, right? And some of these previous times you see like these big drops, like 27% over here when China kicked out all the miners and stuff like that, right? We have seen some very, very big drop-offs, but then the periods that follow have been all phenomenal, right? So this could be one of those great reversal indicators outside of Jim Cramer's call. What else is there? This shows a record low. 6.1% of circulating Bitcoin supply has moved in the last month. 6.1, that's really low. Basically, people that are holding Bitcoin continue to hodl. It's like, what's the point? Why would you want to sell now, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. So sell 6%. It makes sense, but still, that's quite low. So right now, Bitcoin definitely is still strong in many ways, and the holders are continuing to be strong as well. And then here, if you're a technical guy, a lot of people's looking at this big double bottom pattern right now, right? And you could clearly see we have formed that double bottom. So does that mean we are going to break out of it? Let's see. First step is that getting back to that 24K, which could happen sooner than expected. And then what's really going to confirm it is we hit that 30K mark that I've been talking about for quite some time. Unfortunately, we didn't get there yet, but could be in the works, could be right around the corner. And if you're looking at the monthly close, this is what it looks like. Not very exciting. Okay, we didn't go down any further, although we didn't make any headways up either. But look at the bottom. Look at right? The MACD. And there's a pretty line there, a couple pretty lines. One is the trend line, and the second is basically the break upwards, right? The reversal from bottom, right? And you could see in 2015 when that happened, in 2018 when that happened, and we happen to have just hit that line for this last month. So does that mean, just like the previous two bottoms, we are ready to recover and move forward? And not only that, you can see the MACD trend line, right? Making lower highs. Yeah, we're still on our way. So does this mean that we can finally move on, and September is finally going to give us some greens, right? So yes, I hope so. I hope so. All right, now this is interesting. Addresses with balances versus total BTC units, right? So this basically boils down to short term, we may have volatility. Long term, why Bitcoin will continue to appreciate and continue to move higher is because Bitcoin is a scarce asset. It's heading to a point where it will become no more, right? 21 million, there will be no more to be mined, and we're really close to that already. But while that's happening, while you could see the inflation curve taper out, what's happening with the addresses is it's still skyrocketing because more and more people are turning to Bitcoin. So as the supply decreases, the demand is increasing. And if you know anything about supply and demand and the price curve, you'll know that this is a perfect situation for price appreciation, right? So that's something that we could look forward to in the long run. If you're looking to buy Bitcoin and crypto for the first time and you don't know where to get started, head over to CryptosRus.com and click on the best exchange guide. Within, you'll find a list of exchanges that I recommend and some that I use on a daily basis. If you are outside the US, I highly recommend looking at Binance.com first. They are the biggest exchange out there, supported in almost every single country. They have a fantastic fiat on-ramp, off-ramp system. They offer the most trading pairs and the lowest fees in the industry. You could also download a mobile app onto your Android and Apple device very easily. If you are in the US, I recommend taking a look at the sister company of Binance, Binance.us, which offers all of these things and more. So if you want to learn more, head over to CryptosRus.com or utilize the links in the description of this video.